Thank you, Mayor, and thank you, City Council. I want to thank you for your time over the upcoming 2 days as we prepare our budget for the next fiscal year. Over the past 2 years, we have taken action on numerous priorities and positioned the city staffing and finances to address the concerns of the community. Additionally, this council has made the long-term financial condition of the city a top priority. As you will see from staff presentations, we have improved many programs within the city and will continue to do so as we move forward. I will remind Council that all of our budget discussions are being streamed live on the website and recorded for later viewing. Staff has been encouraged to move at a steady pace during their presentations in order to allow as many questions as needed over the next 2 days. Plus, we want to make sure Council has ample time to discuss the programs and strategies that are presented. Any resident who is watching this is invited to attend our upcoming budget public hearings over the next few City Council meetings. At those meetings, they are provided the opportunity to provide input on the discussions we have today and on our overall city budget. There are some faces in the gallery that you may not recognize. Myra Rogers' budget team has done a great job since January preparing the budget and working with all of the staff. And at this time, I just want our budget team to kind of stand up and introduce themselves just so we know, have a name with the faces.
My name is Mesquite, and I've been here just a few months now, about 3 months, and I'm the budget analyst.
Myra Rogers, I'm the manager of budget and financial analysis, and I've been with the city a little over 12 years.
Here, I'm the senior budget analyst. Here at the city.
Council, they do an outstanding job of getting us to the point today. It's a lot of hard work, especially at the last minute as we fine-tune numbers and everything. So I'm really proud of our budget team and the finance department as a whole for keeping us going. And in order to maintain a strong financial condition for the city, this year we'll be proposing several options for the council to consider when it comes to revenues and expenditures. Your staff works with these numbers and funds on a daily basis, and I want to encourage you to stop the discussion if we begin talking too fast, if we begin using terminology that you may not recognize, or if the numbers just start combining together. We are prepared to stop down and answer any question that you have. And that was not directed at any one person in particular. That was all of us. And today is the culmination of a budget process that started last October with the presentation of the annual citizen survey. This survey was used to measure the results of actions taken previously and develop benchmarks upon which we will measure ourselves on an annual basis today and moving forward. From the survey, the council met to discuss the policies and programs and the progress made on several initiatives. This policy workshop allowed council to check off some boxes on programs that were put into place just a few years ago. We have achieved a lot. This workshop also allowed the council to adjust programs and add goals and policies to the list for future consideration. As you will recall, in March, we met to finalize our priority and goal list, and this list provides the basis upon which staff developed the budget we are presenting today. In order to be a data-driven organization, we want council to be able to measure the effectiveness of the services we provide. As you have seen, the results of the actions we take during the budget will not truly be seen for well over a year from now. I can assure you that you have significantly transformed our organization over the last few years, and we hope to continue that with this year's budget. Department heads have prepared budgets based on maintaining the current level of services we provide. There are increases in costs for doing business that are absorbed by offsetting other expenditures or minor increases in overall funding. Any new programs are presented to you in the form of budget offers. This includes the addition of staff or new services to the citizens. We have done our best to limit expenditures to what we have spent the previous year and adjust only as needed for cost of electricity and other items that we do not have control over the cost. Economically, the city is doing very well. Property values are increasing and sales tax is leveling out, just as we've expected. We continue to feel the impacts of the changing nature of the retail industry, but there is plenty of interest in the retail sector in Mesquite due to the retail draw of Town East Mall. Elsewhere, we are seeing interest in industrial and distribution uses throughout the city. Housing is starting to take off as we anticipate housing starts over the next 18 months in Heartland, Polo Ridge, Hagen Hills, and Ridge Ranch. With Mesquite's access to downtown Dallas and the regional transportation system, we are becoming more attractive to home builders looking for development along I-635. Over the next year, we anticipate more proposals for infill residential and commercial development, and we will also position Mesquite to be ready for growth along the I-20 corridor in the area that we now call Trinity Point. We are also making strides in addressing our infrastructure needs. While Matt will tell you we have a lot of work to do, several of our road projects are being completed and others are getting close. Right on the heels of these projects will be the second phase of Town East Boulevard, Gus Thomason Road from US 80 to Town East, along with numerous water, sewer, and drainage projects. This budget will include proposals to increase our spending on road maintenance and water and sewer infrastructure. We will also discuss ways to expand the impact of our drainage utility district. The appearance of our community is also improving. With the resources provided over the last few years, along with improved ordinance and a different mindset among staff, we are seeing fewer complaints from residents and more compliance from those who have code issues. I believe our stronger approach to neighborhood problems is making a significant difference with our citizens. Public safety continues to be the highest priority among our citizens. Chief Cato's efforts to place more officers on the streets and utilize skilled civilians is having a tremendous impact. This year's budget proposal will include the addition of 4 officers to the police department. Additionally, we are seeing the number of calls for service to EMS continue to grow. This year's proposal provides funding to move our fire department to placing Ambulance 6 into full-time service. With these additions, I will be encouraging council to take a steady and measured approach to adding police officers and firefighters over the next several years. Our community is in growth mode, and in order to meet the demands for service in the upcoming years, we need to add more officers and firefighters to our ranks. Waiting until we need them will be difficult to fund within 1 year. In order to continue our tradition of attracting the best and brightest for our public safety departments, this year's budget will also provide options for council to consider to develop a pay plan that is competitive with our neighboring cities. In addition, we will evaluate options for employee compensation. Our goals as staff is always to meet the needs of community. This budget, combined with the efforts over the past few years, is achieving that goal. Our financial condition, while strong, needs constant attention. During this workshop, staff will be presenting several options to council to consider when it comes to the long-term stability of our finances. We have seen the impacts that a recession can have on our ability to provide service. Now is the time to address some issues that will help us strategically several years from now and help us ride through a downturn in the economy should another one come. Council, I appreciate your time and efforts when it comes to discussing and planning for the future of our community. Good management of the city and financial resources are key factors when it comes to our bond rating. And by contributing your time to 3 workshops over a 12-month period, we are able to maintain a great rating for our community. Today we have several presentations for the council. Again, I will remind the staff present that we have a lot to cover and that we will try to work through our presentations as quickly as possible so council can ask questions. We have a lot of preliminary data to cover, so Debbie Mole is going to dive into her presentation. We will have a presentation from our water rate consultant here before our 10:45 break. So again, council, thank you for your time today.